What's up, my friends? It's Alana. Thanks for coming to hang out with me today. If you are new here, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you came to hang out with me today because we are going to be doing a setup of sorts in my Passion Planner Daily for 2024. And I'm really excited about it, you guys. I spent, 20-ish days in the month of January really trying to figure out and nail down how I can make the Passion Planner Daily come along with me as I try to level up my life in 2024. Now, I have been using and loving and adoring this specific planner for coming up on 3 years now. In 2023, it helped me accomplish one of my biggest, massive pie in the sky, mountainous goals and dreams. I wrote and published a novel. I also started some other ones. I started some major projects. I kept up with my life and my home and my homeschooling my kiddos and all of those things. But for 2024, I want to level up. And in order to do that, I really had to sit down and think about how I can set up this planner, use the daily layout, and really make it work for me. So I wanted to share that with you guys today for two reasons. I get a lot of questions and comments about staying on top of things and goal setting and productivity. The other reason is because one of the most watched videos up on my channel is the How to Have a Highly Productive Day video. Now, that video is a few years old. I think maybe it's from 2020 or 2021, but it's still highly watched. It's still commented on. So I see that it's important to people to talk about how to have a highly productive day, but my planner, of course, has changed since then, as well as my opinion and perspective on having a highly productive day. So we're going to talk about all that stuff. We're going to get into the good stuff. I am going to combine doing a plan with me with showing you guys the new setup for this planner. So to get myself started, I sat down with this planner. I sat down with my layout, and then I brought in my goals and dreams, the things I already need to accomplish and work on every single day. I had them all laid out on my dining room table, and then I started labeling different sections of this planner spread with how I could really make it work for me in 2024. So one of the problems that I have been having, it's not really a problem, but where I sort of slip up or tend to fail or fall short on my goals and dreams in this planner spread is getting carried away with the decorative, or thinking I need to leave something alone, or not having any fresh ideas. So I came up with a way I could, and by leave something alone, I mean the sections that are already laid out for me. Some days I just don't feel like covering them up, but I also don't have anything to write in there either. So I just leave it alone. So I sat down and labeled each section of this planner spread and figured out how I can use it the same every single day. Now, I am going to decorate it differently every single day because Lord knows I need a cute planner spread to stay motivated and to actually want to come back and open this up. It just, my creative brain, I need something cute on the page. It inspires me and it keeps me coming back. And if that works for you as well, then great. Don't let anybody tell you you're too old for stickers, because that's not a thing. They don't come with age limits on the pack. It's okay to make it look cute, but I really need the highest form of functionality I can possibly get out of this planner in 2024 because I'm so ready to level up my life. So like I said, I sat down with my goals and dreams. I sat down with what I have to do and what I want to accomplish. And I got out some paper and I just washi taped the paper to different spots on the page and labeled them. So we're going to combine that today. I'm going to show you guys how I'm using each section. We're going to fill it out with what I'm using it for, not necessarily the plans, and also simultaneously decorate it up like a plan with me. And we're also going to talk about how I have changed my highly productive day. So I'm going to start how I usually start, and that is by covering up where it says space of infinite possibility. I don't always cover this up. And I'm not going to always cover this up going forward with my new style for this layout. But for today, for the purpose of this video and for the purpose of the spread I want to create, I am going to go ahead and cover it up. Just like that. I'm also going to go ahead and put a little bit of scrapbook paper down at the bottom of the page here, just because. And this little bit of washi tape. So I should also tell you guys, I am going to be doing this spread in a mostly green theme because green is my color of the year. I've never chosen a color of the year before, but I chose a word of the year that, while I absolutely needed to have that word of the year, while I am glad I chose it for the word of the year for myself, I don't relate to it. My word of the year is bloom, and it evokes these thoughts and images in my head that I don't relate to. Spring, summer, flowers, floral patterns. Like, none of those things are me. They're not my vibe, which is part of the reason why I chose bloom for my word of the year. And I thought if I had a color to go along with it, green, then I would be triggered with my word in my mind when I see the color green and when I create with the color green, and it would help me start a relationship with my word of the year. I'm glad I chose it, but oof, it's not, bloom is just not a thing for me. I'm a fall and winter kind of girl. So I'm going to decorate this in green. Okay, so now that we have some decorative down on the page, I'm going to go ahead and start filling this out for my productivity, for leveling up my life with the first section that I chose. So here's how I'm going to use most of the space of infinite possibility over here. So I have mountains to pebbles, progress, and log, which, if you don't know, it's a planning and goal setting, goal tracking process that I created for myself in 2020. It's basically taking your big, huge, mountainous goal and breaking it down into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces until you have pebbles, which are your daily or sometimes even hourly tasks. And over here on this page somewhere, it of course can change from day to day, but over here, I am going to track and check in how I am doing with my mountains to pebbles. Because one of the things that I'm going to do to level up and be productive in 2024 is work on my huge goals every single day. Sometimes it's going to be massive steps. Sometimes I'm going to be carrying boulders, but other times it's going to be like grains of sand. You guys, I'm going to do the tiniest little amount, but it's going to be something, some sort of effort toward my big goals and dreams. Then I'm going to have a spot for looking at the next day. This was just an idea and something that I can put on here occasionally. I am not going to have to do this every single day, but it is an idea for a way to fill in this spot over here. Then journal through fears, worry, and anxiety. Any fears or worry and anxiety that I have about my life, about my goals, my dreams, that sort of thing, most of the time when I journal about it and write it down, it's not as bad as it seems, right? It's like being in the dark. You can conjure up all these things in your mind, but really you're in the dark, and it's not as bad as you've made it out to be. So I'm going to go ahead and make space for some of these things on this spread. And there was one other thing that I'm going to be tracking on here as well, which will probably always be a little box or a little space down in the corner of the page. Actually, I'm going to start there because I found the perfect little box. So I'm going to put it right down here, just like that. And this was my idea for this spot. So level up, check-in. What have I done that was a little bit extra or a little bit of a push, a little bit more of a reach toward my goals and dreams to level up my life every single day? So I want to go, maybe not necessarily the extra mile, but the extra 10 feet every single day. A little push, a little bit of extra effort just to prove to myself that I can level up. So sometimes this is going to be related to my home. Sometimes this is going to be related to my goals and dreams. Sometimes this is going to be related to my health, like any of those things. And I just want to level up a little bit every single day. And I'm going to check in this space. It's not always going to be a box, in this space every single day. Okay, so then for my mountains to pebbles progress and log, I'm just going to take this oversized sticky note that I have and turn it into a box. So I'm just going to rip the bottom off just like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some Tombow adhesive on the back so that the whole thing is sticky, not just the one little sticky note spot. And then I'm gonna turn it into a box that I can put up here and decorate it because it's like a mint green. It doesn't quite match the rest of the spread, but we'll make it work. Okay, oh, that's lopsided. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna make this match a little bit better with the rest of the spread by going out around this with a darker green Tombow dual brush pen. It adds an extra element of decorative. It's totally not necessary. And it's kind of like making it one of my scratchy boxes as well. Okay, I'm gonna put some of this brown washi tape up in the corner here. I'm just gonna make it a little bit smaller, just so it looks like I stuck this to the page with the washi tape. I'm gonna do a little bit more of this down the side. Actually, maybe I'll put it right here. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna put another one of these girls right here as well. Then for my looking ahead at the next day, like I said, I'm not necessarily going to do this every single day, but for the purpose of this one, I'm going to put just a box right here overlapping this one. And then for my journaling, I will do it directly onto the page. Out around it, all along down here, it doesn't matter. I don't mind at all. That's the purpose of this spread. I do want to cover up this leaf though. I am going to do like one of these. So I'm going to put this for covering it up, and then this one, just like that. One more extra little bit of decorative. I'm going to put this right here like this, and this over the top of it. What's funny is it says bowling green on there. That's interesting. Just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna label this one with my mountains to pebbles progress, and I'm just gonna go MTP. That the paper behind there messed up my M. It looks a little long, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna just put progress. Ugh, I tried to fix the M. I think I made it worse. Okay, and then down here, I am going to write level up, check in. And like I said, this is where I'm going to just check in for in what way I leveled up my life just a little bit every single day. So that's pretty much it for this side, you guys. It's gonna stay exactly like this, of course, with different decorative, and the boxes will be moved around a little bit, but that's how I'm always gonna use this planner for 2024. Of course, I will probably leave more blank space for journaling from time to time when I feel like I need it, but this is how it's gonna look over on this side. Now let's go to this side and then talk about not only how I'm going to be using this, but how I am going to be having highly productive days. So I'm going to start by covering up where it says free space to grow. Now I am going to be using some of the spots that are provided in this planner layout without changing anything. Just for decorative purposes, I may cover them up and just go ahead and write in a little label or header sticker over the top of it, the same thing, but that's just for decorative purposes. I am going to be leaving some of this alone. But for my free space to grow, this is going to be gratitude and spiritual growth, or connection to my word of the year. I am going to vary from day to day or week to week how I'm going to be using this spot. It's either going to be listing out gratitude. I do have multiple planners and journals where I am doing gratitude, but y'all, gratitude can go everywhere. And sometimes I just am sparked with the mood or the joy to write out my gratitude in this section, but I'm leaving it up for multiple options. Spiritual growth I can put in here as well, or connection to my word of the year, like in what way my word of the year helped me or inspired me, or something that inspired, like a quote relating to my word of the year, or how I actually used my word of the year and bloomed and had growth in one way or another. So just to pull in this mint green that doesn't quite match over on this side, I'm going to go ahead and put the other half of that sticky note right here just like this, and then decorate the blank space around it. Most of the time I'm going to try to just leave this box as is while just covering up where it says free space to grow. But to make it match today, I'm going to go ahead and put this here. And to pull in the dark green, I don't think I'm going to outline it entirely. I think I'm going to go like this. Do one of those and some imperfect lines, and then just like that. I'm going to take a bit of that washi tape and put right here, and then one of the girls right here, just like that. That green circle looks really weird now beside her. It looks like a big fuzzy or something coming off of her sweater. Okay, let's scooch her over so that she's covering that up. And maybe I can put something beside hers to cover, beside her legs to cover this up. There we go, that works. I'm going to take this little tiny piece of paper that I tore off from over here and glue it up here to have this for my label for whatever I'm using this space for, like my gratitude and all that stuff I already talked about. Now the only other spot I'm covering up on the regular over here on this side of the spread is the Today I Learned spot. Actually, this washi tape is too thick. I need less of it. So the Today I Learned, I try to learn something new every single day, but I don't try to keep track of learning something new every single day. And I want something more specific to my life, my goals, and my idea of productivity. So I'm using that box for see the good, acknowledge my progress. It's supposed to be no matter how small. I write books, not matter how small, no matter how small. That's what I'm going to do right here. So last year in 2023, like I said, I wrote and published my first novel. And then when we got towards the end of the year in December and I was making plans for 2024, I thought to myself, I didn't accomplish anything this year. What did I do? I have a really hard time acknowledging that I've accomplished something. And unless it's massive, groundbreaking, I refuse to say that I did anything at all. So I am going to acknowledge my even small efforts every single day, because my small efforts are going to add up to something big. And this is going to help with my productivity as well. I'm going to be motivating myself to keep going. I'm going to acknowledge that I'm doing a good job, and I'm going to want to do more of that. So that's what's going to go in this space right here. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. In fact, it's going to probably reflect the level up over here, but it's just going to be an acknowledgement of my efforts. Okay, the rest of the spaces, you guys, I'm going to try to make this rapid fire because this is where my highly productive days come in, but also I'm not changing a whole lot about the spread for the rest of the spaces. So I am going to be doing the high fives for my productivity, for my goals and dreams. 5 tasks for each area of my life. So in the personal, it's going to be 5 for home, and in work, it's going to be 5 for goals. No more. I am not going to be overwhelming myself, and I am going to be productive by cutting back. I am going to limit myself to 5 things that I can do start to finish without pardon my French, half-assing things without getting things part of the way done and then feeling overwhelmed. It's going to be a little bit less on my plate each day, but I'm going to be able to accomplish it start to finish, therefore being more productive because I'm finishing things bit by bit and then also staying on top of things. So 5 tasks to complete in my home life. And these are things outside of like my normal schedule. These are things outside of like homeschool and stuff like that. These are tasks toward leveling up and improving my life. So decluttering one small space or deep cleaning one small space, like an extra thing each day. 5 and then 5 for goals. I have sort of covered this one up a little bit, but that's okay. I can still write in there. 5 efforts, no matter how small, towards my goals each day from start to finish. So I can set like a 50 word count goal for myself and do that start to finish. So the act of marking things off and accomplishing things no matter how small, having my pebbles each day is going to motivate me. It's going to snowball and I'm going to do more and more and want to go above and beyond. Then really quick, in my hourly slots over here, I am going to use it for time blocking or a weekend checklist or sprint word count tracker on the weekends and during school breaks. So this is really versatile. If you just cover up the hourly, you have a perfect checklist all the way down your page here. But when we're doing homeschool, I am going to time block it off with the things that I need to do and the spaces I need to be in. When we're not doing homeschool, it's going to be a word count and sprint tracker for myself, for my writing, and then also on the weekends and during school breaks, like spring break, summer, that sort of thing. That's what I'm going to be using this slot for. So here is my time blocking and how I'm going to have a highly productive day, focus on all the areas of my life, make time for my goals and dreams. And then you guys, one of the things that I'm changing about my productivity is just sticking to the routine. I used to try to get up an hour earlier to have a highly productive day. I'm still going to get up way before homeschool starts, but if things get derailed, I am not going to say the day is shot, all is lost. I am going to just stick to the routine and try to hang on to the chunks of time that I have from here on out. The power hour is still sticking around for productivity. You guys, you probably have heard about this by now, but if you haven't, the power hour is different from just doing housework. It's different from just cleaning. You put in some earbuds, a playlist, a podcast, an audiobook, you set a timer, and you go to town. The timer makes all the difference. You feel like you're in a race against yourself, and you really do get more done by pushing yourself and having that power hour and trying to challenge yourself to go a little bit further. Another way I am changing my productivity and having highly productive days is by doing something that is very similar to this, oh my gosh, on the weekends and on days off of school for my kiddos or during school breaks. I'm not just going to fly by the seat of my pants, let things go willy-nilly. I am going to stick to a routine of some kind and track everything to stay accountable no matter what day of the week it is, no matter what's going on with homeschool. I'm also going to set my intentions for the day. My focus and my game changer goal is going to be more about intentions and not having one specific goal for the day. It's going to be how I want to feel at the end of the day, how proud I want to be of myself, how accomplished I want to feel. That's what's going to go up here, not just a specific goal, because those are going to take up these spots right here and then over here as well. I know this one was a little bit longer, you guys, but I hope you learned something new or got inspired from this. Come back. I will have one that will be similar to this, but different for my writing routine. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to set up for a weekend or a holiday long break of writing in here. Writing sprints, writing routine, tracking, all that stuff. Again, the rest of this is all going to stay the same, and I'm going to use it in this spread. That's it for this one, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you're new here and you got something out of this, I hope you stick around. But that's all for this one. I will see you in my next one. Tell your dog I said hi. Bye, guys.